Okay, good afternoon. Hi, 10 George Realty and Commercial. We are excited to be here. We will run this meeting annually. Most of us know the protocol of floor time, but we'll just go over it. So it's really important when you are running floor time, and I don't mind who jumps in. This is more a collaborative meeting. So whoever has a comment, just please make it. No problem. This is collaborative, but the front line of our company is who's ever greeting people. It's really important to answer professionally, be professionally ready, dressed, ready to tackle the day. And the other thing is, if somebody's client walks in, I'm not going to read verbatim because you all have the handouts, and Jimmy, I'll email you a copy. But just if they say they have an agent here, we stop, no more questions, call the agent and let them in, because, let them know they're here, because, we don't want to question other people's agents, because that may get somebody upset or whatever.
Screen anybody.
Yeah, no screening of other people's clients. And then if you do take incoming calls, sometimes there's a language barrier, right? But you're still the floor time agent, so you can still take that call, and you can run around to the brokerage and find whoever will speak the language that you need, and see if they will share with you, or they want to do a referral. We leave that up to you guys. However, with one caveat, please document it in writing and turn it in so that we have a form.
There's a form on the Coldwell Banker website that is especially for sharing commission. But in regards to a different language, our directory at the receptionist, she has who speaks what language. So she'll be able to assist you right away if you give her a call. Or Michelle or I, okay?
Yeah.
I did get a lead, and I did bring Virginia in on it. We went and met with the people.
Okay.
She's Virginia Deep.
Yes.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
But I didn't feel that from her. I didn't know we had.
It's okay. You do it when you
Come sit
can.
afterwards and I'll give you the.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a way so the company knows who's sharing, and then you feel better in your deal, because you know what the split is already. It's already been discussed, because the worst thing is if somebody's thinking they're getting 50%, but the other agent that has is doing the talking thinks that they're just giving you a referral, because we've had that once or twice. So we want it in writing so that everybody feels good. If there's ever any dispute on the floor, please don't try to resolve it on your own unless it's something simple. Just bring it up and we'll resolve it with you in a manner that's consistent with our policies and things like that. Also, answering the phones are really important, because, it's going to be, good morning. Hi, 10 George Realty. This is Michelle. How may I assist you? You want to be very upbeat and welcoming and professional, even to other agents outside that are calling in, because that's a reflection of our company. So we want to always make sure that we're answering the phone professionally and that kind of thing. I will not read all of this to you because there's no need. That's why we passed it out. Jimmy, you will get a copy.
Thank you.
Yeah, but the main thing is just have fun down there. Sit at the desk near the computer near Jacqueline. If you can, if you're in the back and you have a desk and you can hear and answer, that's okay as long as she's sitting there. But when she leaves that desk, you need to be up front if you're on floor time. We have opened it up to, you can sign up for 3 times per week. I think our policy used to say 2, but feel free to take 3 times. Once we hit, I think we'll be posting the schedules mid-month each month.
Yeah.
Okay. So once we hit maybe the first week, it's first come, first serve. But after the first week of that schedule being posted, feel free to take another shift if you want, but let's give everybody a chance.
Okay.
I'm really wanting to hear from you guys. Are there any problems on the floor? Anything that you see going on or that we need to address further?
So Michelle, so last week, a person came in asking for an agent, and I said I was trying to look for him. I couldn't find him in the list, And he says, you know what? It's been a few years. I haven't spoken to him, but I know he used to work here. And I said, okay, do you have his number? And he says, I still have his number. I said, okay, you might want to go ahead and reach out to him. I can't find, I don't remember the name. I couldn't recall the name, but I know that I searched in the list. I couldn't find his name, but I told him if he wanted to, you can, go ahead and reach out to him, through his cell
Yeah.
number.
It might have been, yeah, that's a good way to handle it because it could have been something about an old transaction or, anything like that. And you could say in that case, as long as they're not part of our company, they're no longer with the company. If I can assist you, do you want me to assist you? Otherwise, if you have their phone number, go ahead and give him or her a call. Yeah.
Let me tell Jimmy a scenario I had when I was with George.
Can you hear Rebecca, Jimmy?
Yeah, I can hear. I can hear it.
Okay.
Clip it.
I was on floor time and they called for this one agent. So what I did, I got their number. She wasn't on the list. She wasn't a current agent there. So I took it back to the broker and he's like, you know what? She used to be here, but we have no connection, whatever. I called back and I said, you can work with me. And they're like, okay, let's go ahead. So I did. I sold their property in Pico Rivera. But
Yeah.
I did go to the broker to see and take it from there.
Yeah, if I think anytime, the agent's no longer here, always offer your services, but if they're insistent upon the other agent, okay.
Yeah.
And then just say it, if you can't reach the other agent, here's my card. I'll be happy to help you. Okay?
Okay, got it.
So we have just some client interaction and call handling protocol. Mainly, we want to be very polite on the phone. We all know that. We do have prospecting from the office procedures because there's 3 phones on the 3rd floor that we don't get bounce back calls to poor Jacqueline. So those numbers don't register to high 10. So we need to use certain phones if we're doing a high level of cold calling.
You have a 3rd floor here?
It's like it's yeah.
It's a mini, but it is.
It's a mini floor, but we have 3 desks up there with
Okay.
blocked out phone numbers, and I'm gonna see if I can get nationwide dialing on those now that it's included in our phone bill. I won't do it for the whole office, but I'll do it for where people are making client calls. But if you ever need to dial out of the area, probably one of us could help you. But I think most of us are using our cell phones, which is what I'm doing because I want them to have my phone number too. We do have conference rooms if you haven't noticed. We have a big one up here, a small one, and then do we have one small one up here?
We have 2 here.
2 here and 1 downstairs. Those should only be used if you're meeting with a client. Don't make it a lunchroom. Don't make it your hangout. Those should be left empty, even though you think, oh, well, nobody's using them. It's just better to leave them clean and empty and not have lunch in them and things like that, which most of us don't do that. But just to keep it, neat and clean, and in case somebody needs to come in with a client, it's always available. Okay, so we do have weekend shifts. I don't know how those are handled other than the same protocols, but you're welcome to take weekend shifts if you like. After hours, the phone will ring. You can pick it up, but we do have it set up on a recorder. If you're not willing to go all the way and transfer it where it needs to, or you're in a hurry, please don't pick our phone up. Let it hit the recording. So, because Jacqueline is very diligent every morning picking the messages up. So you can do it. I think it's 711, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can pick it up, but please handle it all the way through. If they're asking for one of us, staff members, transfer it.
Yeah.
But you're welcome to pick it up after hours as long as you go all the way through and make the transfers. Anything else that anybody has to add?
After hours at 6 o'clock when
Yeah.
Jacqueline leaves?
Okay.
Yeah, because that means it's not, and I don't 7-Eleven it
That's
ever.
If you're ever here on
Yeah.
Saturday, you want to pick it up.
Yeah.
I just want to take the time and thank when Jackie was out on Friday, we had nobody on the schedule, and Sylvia, Rosa, and Jimmy volunteered to assist us with picking up the phone. So a big yay!
Thank you. And are we getting business from the floor or leads?
I have
got a lease listing when I first started doing it, and it was a Saturday afternoon. I signed up from 9 to 12. At 11:50, I was already wrapping up, and this gentleman called, and I grabbed all the paperwork. I went over there, signed it, and everything, and yeah, we ended up leasing the apartment within a
Oh,
month.
very good. I'm glad to hear that. Sylvia?
Yes, I also had, two referrals, and I had, a lease, rental with a client for one of, Nina's, units in Alhambra.
Yeah,
I got a
that's,
ground floor
oh
time.
my gosh. You know, it's a little bit changed game, right?
Yeah.
Because now we have the TRBC, the tenant representation that's required, and we have the BRBC. So it's no longer, you know, hey, I'll just, you know, this and that, meet you somewhere. You have to make sure, and I put that on these notes, that you're executing on your commission, because you want to make sure you're going to be paid if you're even rolling somewhere, right? Even if it's a mile from here,
Right.
you don't want to work unless you know that, you know, they're willing to execute those agreements. Now, of course, you can pass it to the landlord and see if they'll pay, and I mean, excuse me, property owner, and you can pass it to the seller, but you still need to execute those agreements. So it's changed a little bit for us because of the requirement of that, but make sure when you're talking to people on the phone, you're trying to meet with them to go over the forms. If you don't know them, it's probably good to meet them in the office when
Yeah.
people are here. I wouldn't ever recommend going to a house and meeting them on your own if it's, you know, not occupied, you know,
Right.
just bring them here. You have all your colleagues here. Another thing is, if you're going out alone, you can let me know, or Jacqueline or anybody, hey, here's where I'm going. And if I call in and say blue, red, whatever color you want, then I have an emergency. So, if you're out there and you're gonna be alone, let somebody know and say, hello, it's red or whatever, and then we'll know there's an emergency. So that's just a protocol that, you know, I followed a long time ago at another company. None of us really had to use it, but we just knew if somebody said red, then they had an issue, okay? So always let people know if you're alone, especially not, you know, if you're in a team, it's good because you have two people, but if you're by yourself, let people know so we can look out for you too. Yeah,
This is when you invite your nephews.
Yeah.
All that. I mean, if you
Or
feel
your
more
spouse.
protected, yeah, or spouse, yeah.
and there's agents around here that will be happy to just sit in the car. Like, you know, we used to do that where I used to work, like, you know, somebody'd say, oh, I'll just go, you run in and meet them, and then I'll sit in your car. You know, so there's people that will help you that way because it's give and take, right? We'll help each other. But if you need that kind of service, just make sure that you have a color in mind and you call us, but you let us know where you're at, you know, when we're here. Okay?
Yeah.
Any
Yeah,
other?
always
Go
on floor
ahead.
time. I'm always on floor time. So if anyone ever needs anyone to watch out or back up or make sure everything's okay, just, you know, you can always let me know, and I can always meet you at the location or anything like that. So
Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, and I hope that you've already met them at the office getting the BRBC or TRBC signed. So, you know, just when you're alone though, if you want the backup, you just tell us where you're at,
Mhm.
and then give us a color, okay? Anything else?
Just a clarification, whenever we're on floor time and there are listings and the calls come in for those listings, the person that's the caller that has no agent, no this, no that, that's the benefit of floor time to us, correct?
But if
Picking up
they're
the
looking for a listing
Listing
agent,
agent.
we can't take
call.
that.
No.
Yeah.
If they obviously ask for the,
Yeah.
listing agent.
Even if they say listing agent and not the name, that needs
Right.
to be transferred.
Right. Only at that time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are the
Yeah.
one that's going to be.
Yeah, if they say I need to talk to the listing agent, then it's gone, you know, transfer it off, but
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, and just so you know, because sometimes I've had one person saying, oh, you're probably funneling the calls where you want when I get them. I don't. She even knows. I gave one back to her. I said, this is Emilio's.
Yeah.
If I get calls and they haven't even asked for an agent, I look it up on the MLS and I funnel that message. I take a picture. I did one today for an agent, took a picture and said, please call on your listing. And I send it so that when they come into me, they always go back to the listing agent. I don't keep anything.
Right.
I am a manager. I don't have any interest in doing that. So I just want y'all to know that it's always turned back when they come into me. Yeah, just so you're comfortable. Yeah. And Peter will do the same too. Any of us on staff that get them, Jacqueline will all turn them back. I don't know that you would get those
I
calls.
always get them, and once in
Yeah.
a while, because there's a couple of Annas, and
Yeah.
I get the call for Annas.
Yeah.
"Oh, you want me?"
Yeah. And is there any improvement we can make for you on floor time that you think would help in the protocols?
You put the protocols, but where we work, it's so cramped.
I know.
And then I put my purse and my briefcase on top of the cabinet right there.
If we bring our own computer, what I
Where are you gonna fit?
you know.
Sit
what I
at a
do?
vacant
Get the
desk.
Keyboard, from the one that's there and put it behind it and just make room for it, you know?
You can, if somebody's not at a desk, just sit there, you
But
know?
then a lot of times I cover for Jacqueline because she's up and down.
Yeah,
So I don't mind sitting there in front, you know? It's
maybe,
If
just-
she's
I think we need to redo.
if she's here and my desk is not so far from her and she's.
Yeah,
at her
just
desk,
sit there.
Then I sit there and take the calls there. I do the floor time from
Yeah.
there, unless she's going to lunch, or unless she's off for the day, then I go to the front, correct?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know what to do about the crampiness. I mean,
Do we have like a cabinet or
Yeah.
a desk
Zipper,
that would be
I-
like a overall cabinet for anybody to put their things away?
Yeah, because my.
I'm
purse
gonna
is
look
on top of-
straight at Jacqueline and mum my lips on this one.
What
Go
Jimmy does is
ahead.
There's a cabinet and Jimmy will roll it
Yeah, that's what I
out
did.
and then put his laptop.
Wait,
right
where
there.
is that from?
That's here.
That's under the desk. You just pull it out
Yeah.
and it turns into a little table and I put my laptop,
Right.
the key,
Oh, I saw you on that, so it just rolls.
Is it empty?
you just roll it out.
Briefcase in there?
Oh, no.
See?
Just one,
Fine.
you know, as a previous banker, you know, you don't want to be, because they know realtors make a lot of money. They come in, and if you're wearing jewelry, if you have your purse nearby, your phone, this and that, and they come up and try to,
Yeah.
give me your purse, give me your wallet, give me that. We should put our purses not there, but at another station that we know, and just keep bare minimums there at the
Well,
front.
then we do need that extra cabinet behind you.
I use the refrigerator. I put my gear on top of there, or I put it under the desk.
About purses.
Purses.
Right, we had been talking about putting an extra cabinet
Yeah,
back behind, but I don't know, Jacqueline has to think about that because she's the one rolling backwards and in the space all the time. And I've left that up to her because I don't want to be overbearing.
we're vulnerable if somebody walks in.
Yeah.
So you just want a
Rock it.
cabinet to rock,
Crazy.
put your purse in?
Purse.
I actually have a cabinet that I can empty out up here for the temporary. It's that little 2-drawer. It's not great looking, but you could drape something over it. It's right up here and it's very light. I can even throw it in the elevator.
And you know, Michelle, it doesn't have to be there. We can go put it in the back somewhere.
No, this doesn't lock though. It has to be near you.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
have a
it's locked.
2-drawer that I can put down there until Jacqueline decides.
I move some stuff around too and then.
But I do have it, you know, that real light one I gave Patty? It's over here. I'll just empty it.
Yeah, because it's on top of the little fridge that I put my stuff.
And Shumay doesn't like to have a bunch of stuff on the fridge for that very reason.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah,
Because we have to get something and hang the purses, you know?
Right.
So I don't wanna put it on the floor either underneath me. It's bad luck like this.
I have the cabinet though. I'll send it down today.
You know, kind of like if you go to a beauty parlor, nowadays they close the door because
I
people
know,
walk in.
they lock it. I know.
You take your purse, your belongings out of there, your jewelry, everything. So
Yeah.
same thing goes for us, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so I'll put the cabinet, I'll empty it today and stick it in the elevator and then it's real light. Then you can just put
It
it.
doesn't lock.
Mm-mm.
Well, so long as they think it's locked in a way.
But
they
it's
don't
gonna
see
be
it,
behind you.
I'm just gonna think there's like
Right,
business over there.
Right.
not really that.
yeah. Even-
Maybe you're gonna have to put it flush with the refrigerator or something. I don't know. but I'll give it to you. But okay, so I don't want to hold people on our purse discussions, but thank you for attending, Jimmy.
That's it, yeah.
And we'll send this out to the people that couldn't make it. So I wish you a good day, Jimmy, on the recording, and you have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Michelle, bye you guys.
Bye-bye. Okay.